Last weekend, there was a storm that engulfed India, and it happened on Twitter, or rather the X platform. And it created such whirlwinds that the storm has not subsided yet. Yes, I'm talking about the battle of tweets between an actor come health influencer, Samantha Ruth Prabhu, and our very own Dr. Cyriac Abby Philips, popularly known as the liver doc. This war of words on social media sends out a strong message to all those celebrities who take, endorse, or promote alternate medicines, and more dangerously encourage their followers to adopt such pseudoscientific and highly dangerous therapies which do not have any scientific validity. Spreading disinformation should be made a crime. It also underscores the need for medical doctors and science promoters to call out the pseudoscientific claims on social media in order to prevent people from getting harmed if they blindly follow the advice of such influencers. So without any further delay, let's get right into the thick of things. For those who don't know, Samantha Ruth Prabhu is a well-known Indian actress who primarily works in the Telugu and Tamil film industries. She made her acting debut with the Telugu film Ye Maya Chesave in 2010, and her performance was well received, and she won the Filmfare Award for Best Female Debut South. Samantha has starred in several successful films across both Telugu and Tamil cinema since then. She has received numerous awards for her performances, including several Filmfare Awards and a Tamil Nadu State Film Award. So she's a good actor if I go by the accolades, and since I'm not a movie buff anymore, I haven't watched any of her movies. She may be a good actor, fair enough. And as with any celebrity actor, she has a huge fan base on social media, especially on Instagram, where she has over 35.3 million followers. That is more than 3 crore people. That is more than the population of Delhi. And that's nearly the population of Mumbai and Kolkata put together. She posts a variety of high quality content, including photos and videos related to her professional work, personal life, fitness routines, fashion, travel, and much more. Samantha's posts often receive high levels of engagement in terms of likes, comments, and shares. She often provides a glimpse into her real life and which resonates well with her followers. All well and good. No issues there. However, Samantha, like many celebrities, occasionally shares health and wellness tips on her Instagram. And there lies the problem. Samantha often shares her own health and fitness routines, diet tips, and wellness practices. These can be inspiring and motivation for her followers, but it should be understood as a personal approach, which may not suit everyone. While general wellness tips such as staying hydrated, eating balanced meals, and maintaining an active lifestyle are usually safe and beneficial, the moment she shares information such as these, one would need to be skeptical and critical of the consequences. For instance, these pictures of her doing a headstand or Shirsasana, a very dangerous form of exercise that could lead to serious injuries. I had done a video on this a couple of years ago on this dangerous stunt, which you can watch here, or I will link it up in the description. She has been known to spread treatments without any scientific backing. Some months ago, she had mentioned that dandelion roots can detox the liver. Now, the liver doc Dr. Cyriac Abby Philips had called out the evidence from scientific studies that dandelion roots do not detox the liver. Of course, he has the authority to say that since he's an hepatologist himself. Samantha did not respond back to the tweet and the subsequent news articles as far as I am aware. That news did not get so much attention, but the post on her antiviral therapy which she made on the 4th of July certainly went viral. Apparently, she had been undergoing some treatment for some autoimmune disease and conventional medicine was not working. So she consulted some medical professionals who suggested an alternative medicine therapy to alleviate her issue, and a post read this: before taking medication for a common viral, consider trying an alternative approach. One option is to nebulize with a mixture of hydrogen peroxide and distilled water. Works like magic. Avoid unnecessary use of pills, hash alternative medicine, and then the name of the doctor who prescribed her this. And there was a picture showing her using a nebulizer. Now, what is the problem with this? 1. She's not a trained medical doctor nor a medical professional who has the authority or knowledge to prescribe a treatment method to others. Second, it is a viral attack and viruses can affect different people differently. We all saw that with COVID, right? Some got more affected than others and the symptoms too varied from person to person. And thirdly, a statement that it works like magic. Only one thing works like magic, and that is magic itself. Scientific-based medicines don't work like magic. They are developed or designed to act in a certain way inside the body to reduce, manage, or cure a disease. They have specific molecules within them that acts on specific parts of the body in order to work. Finally, to end the post, she has used chemophobia, asking people to stay away from pills. And if all this wasn't enough, she also mentioned that one option is to nebulize using hydrogen peroxide. So what is hydrogen peroxide and what is it used for? Hydrogen peroxide is a chemical compound composed of hydrogen and oxygen, H2O2. Hydrogen peroxide is a powerful oxidizing agent, which means it can break down into water and oxygen when it comes to contact with certain metals or organic materials. So what is it commonly used for? It is used as a bleaching agent in the textile industry. It is used as a household cleaner to clean and disinfect surfaces. Medically, it is sometimes used to disinfect wounds and cuts, but its use is debated due to its potential to cause high damage in bigger concentrations. Higher concentrations of hydrogen peroxide can be corrosive and can cause burns or irritation to the skin, eyes, and respiratory tract. It can cause damage to the cilia and the respiratory tract, which are present there to help move mucus and trap particles out of the lungs. Regarding its use in treating viral diseases, hydrogen peroxide is not typically used as a treatment for viral infections. Viruses are fundamentally different from bacteria and fungi, and disinfectants like hydrogen peroxide are generally effective against bacteria and some fungi, but not viruses. Treatment of viral diseases usually involves antiviral medications or vaccines designed to target specific viruses like the COVID vaccine. And if that is not all bottles of hydrogen peroxide come with a warning label for external use only. Now that is a no-brainer right there, isn't it? For external use only, not to be taken in internally. I wish people will start to read labels. They are there for a reason. Anyways, the liver doc saw this post by Samantha and decided to write a strong response on his Twitter handle. Not a person known to mince his words, especially when it comes to countering pseudoscience, Dr. Abby responded by putting a tweet and a warning from the Asthma and Allergy Foundation of America, calling her out for advising millions of her followers to inhale hydrogen peroxide to prevent and treat respiratory illnesses. He also added a link as an evidence that warned people not to nebulize and breathe in hydrogen peroxide. He further added that in a rational and progressive society, such instances from any person could invoke fines or they will be put behind bars. He also added that she needs better advisors in a team. It's true, isn't it? In a country where alternate medicine industry is given a free run and even promoted by the government, we cannot expect someone to take action against fearmongers and celebrities who can endorse just about anything in the name of wellness supplements. He ended the tweet with a request to the health ministry of the country and any other regulatory bodies to do something to stop such social media health influencers from damaging public health due to incorrect advice given by other Instagram handles. We have seen that in droves, haven't we, in the recent past? People like Virat Kohli and others promoting untested, not scientifically backed wellness treatments like alkaline water, for instance. Then there are hundreds of so-called health influencers who promote such alternate medicine scams without any fear of repercussions. Now, Liberdog's tweet went viral and reached more than 2.5 million people, and a lot of doctors openly criticized Samantha under her Insta page for spreading disinformation. Unable to contain the barrage of negative comments, Samantha had to finally respond, and boy, she responded in a most irresponsible way. Here are her 3-page tweets. Let me make it easy for you and let me read out the main points. She mentions that she has taken a lot of medicines on the advice of qualified medical professionals, which were very expensive, and that she was fortunate that she could afford it. But they weren't making her better apparently. And here comes the critical part. She herself mentions that there is a good chance that it was just her and she's sure it may work well for others. So in short, she understands very well that medical treatments can work differently on different people and there is no all-in-one solution at all times. And yet, she had no issues in giving out an advice on something which seemed to work for her, knowing fully well that it might not work on someone else. And as with anyone who thinks science-based medicine cannot cure their disease, she turned to alternate medicine. The next page had her trying to justify what she did by playing the "I was only trying to help" card. She also said that the treatment was suggested by a doctor who is an MD and who has served at DRDO for 25 years, an appeal to authority if ever there was one. Post that, she said that although she acknowledges that, as a doctor, Abby may know more than her and that his intentions were noble, she took offense at the words written by Abby. She also did not forget to play the victim card by saying that she was targeted because she was a celebrity. How childish and unremorseful. She doesn't understand the gravity of what she did, even after so many negative comments from doctors. I think apart from surrounding her with more advisors, she should also engage some English tutors because she claims that Abby suggested she be thrown in prison. Well, Dr. Abby had suggested nothing of that sort, but instead mentioned that had she been in a rational and progressive society, she would have been jailed. Which is true, of course. We've had doctors who faced disciplinary actions in the US because they gave out false information during COVID. Such societies value human life much more than they do in this country. They don't let Ayurvedic medicines enter their market as medicines but label them as food supplements. Look at these labels on homeopathic and Ayurveda medicines in the US. This is what scientifically bended governments who value public health do. But in this country, any Tom, Dick and Samantha can endorse anything as medicine. Now coming back to the post, she suggested that Dr. Abby should have called out to her doctor and they should have had a discussion or debate which she would have listened to understand from the debate. She may have all the time in the world between shoots, but doctors don't operate that way. They often don't get time for themselves. I mean real doctors, not doctors posing as wellness experts and alternate medicine quacks. Anyways, she ended a post with another "I was just trying to help" card, and that she was just sharing information about the treatments that helped her and hoped it would help others. This is why I said that what Samantha shared is disinformation and not misinformation. Misinformation is when someone unknowingly shares incorrect information. Disinformation is when someone knows fully well that what he or she is sharing is wrong information. She herself has mentioned in a post that not all treatments work the same on everyone. And knowing that fully well, she shared her personal anecdote supposedly for the benefit of others. Now Dr. Abby responded by being critical of Samantha for spreading health disinformation and said that she should have been wiser to delete the post and apologize to her followers and to be careful when spreading information on which she is not an expert, instead of trying to sweep it under the rug, saying that she was just trying to help and playing the victim card since she was a celebrity. He ended the quote saying that he would not be debunking any of Samantha's future health endangering endorsements by making a quote by John Armstrong that you cannot help people that don't want to be helped. Samantha responded by posting that her doctor is a rock star and quoted two doctors whom she gets her health advice from. Dr. Abby in his next tweet exposed that one of the doctors, Dr. Chiller, was a genuine doctor with valid certification once, but now isn't. And that is because of late he has been dabbling with dubious, dangerous, and non-recommended wellness treatment options like ozone therapy, IV cocktail therapy, low-dose ketamine therapy, and IV vitamin therapies, and so on, which have been proven to have no evidence to treat or manage any disease conditions. Of this, the IV cocktail therapy is for improving tolerance for alcohol use and to cure hangovers. And as a liver doctor, he can talk with authority that any doctor who provides treatment for pre-alcohol and post-alcohol use is not a doctor. Coming from a liver doctor who must be seeing a lot of patients wheeled in for alcohol abuse, this is justified. And the second doctor, Dr. Jockers, is not an actual doctor, but a naturopath. And naturopaths are not doctors by any yardstick. Also, he has been warned several times by the US FDA for selling and promoting public health endangering products and services. So that literally means that she had been taking medical advice from the wrong people and then passing it as real advice to her followers. End of story. Dr. Abby also said that he empathizes with her for her medical condition and said he apologizes if she felt uneasy about the way the message was conveyed. Now, this single statement was twisted out of context, and News 18 mentioned that Liver Doc apologized to Samantha over the social media row. I guess they need to hire more English tutors in their team too. More heart-wrenching was when the media house, The Week, wrote an article where they called Dr. Abby as a science influencer. After 11 years of medical education and 10 years of rigorous medical practice and hundreds of clinical research papers, imagine being called as a science influencer and not even as a doctor. If Dr. Abby felt sad after seeing this, I empathize with him. I'm sorry for you, Doc. I apologize. Now let me come to my take on this whole matter. I firmly believe that Samantha should have been more careful before suggesting something such as a disinfectant to cure a viral disease. This is similar to how Trump endorsed ingesting or injecting bleach to cure COVID and how Americans took drinking it. This is how ignorant normal people are. If they can believe things that any random person shares on WhatsApp, imagine if their favorite celebrity endorses something. In this age of information, where there are even chatbots which can give you information if you ask them, it would have been wiser if a celebrity such as herself had taken some time to ask, let's say, ChatGPT if inhaling hydrogen peroxide is useful or harmful. I did, and it popped out an answer that it was harmful even in mild doses. Even a robo knew more than what Samantha's so-called medical experts did. When one is a celebrity with such a strong following, one needs to be very, very careful before they post anything on social media, especially if it relates to health, fitness, and wellness, because you could be harming someone with your half knowledge. If any of her followers tried it as she suggested and they ended up with some serious injury in a hospital, who would take the responsibility? Would "I was only trying to help" work in a court? Perhaps it may work in India, where she may be asked to submit a 300-word essay on the benefits and disadvantages of using hydrogen peroxide and would walk out scot-free. And a word of caution for those who follow such social media accounts. For specific medical conditions or treatments, it is crucial for individuals to consult with their own doctors rather than solely relying on advice from social media influencers, even if they are well-meaning and popular. And make sure that they are science-based medical practitioners and not some alternate quacks or grifters. Also, it is important for followers to critically evaluate the health advice shared by any influencer. This includes considering the source of the information, any potential biases such as sponsored content, and how it aligns with established medical guidelines. And if ever you hear the words natural, holistic, chemical free, no side effects, or alternative medicine, then
run.
I'm hoping that this controversy would open the eyes of at least some people to not just blindly follow whatever any influencer says on social media, but instead evaluate the source and look for scientifically backed evidence which supports the statements. Scientific temper cannot be forced upon someone. It has to be acquired. We are living in dark times where social media is influencing people in a lot of ways, and anyone who decides to become a star on it needs to be extra careful not to spread misinformation or disinformation. I wish the celebrities would stick to what they do best, acting or playing their sport or whatever. They should not dabble into what they don't have any idea about and make a fool of themselves. If you remember, I did a video sometime back on Brandoni's law where we saw how it was difficult to refute bullshit than it is to create it. I will leave the link in the description if you haven't seen it. This controversy is a perfect example of the bullshit asymmetry principle in action. There are numerous so-called influencers out there who are no better than graduates from WhatsApp University, who, for the sake of views and monetization, are ready to give out any kind of disinformation. And this poses a threat for the society since they have a huge fan following and grab eyeballs and watch time with conspiracy theories, incorrect information, promotion of pseudoscience, and blatant fear-mongering. And this poses a lot of extra work for real science promoters who have to spend hours trying to refute the rubbish that the influencers spew. But we will be at it, for we are the ones who have made it a life's mission to uphold Article 51H of the Indian Constitution. So we will be after such influencers who promote disinformation and pseudoscience and to spread scientific temper in the societies in which we live. And that's it for today, folks. I hope you liked today's video. Please comment and let me know your thoughts on this Twitter battle, as I would like to hear your thoughts. Please share if you feel this content is worth sharing and it would benefit more people. If you like to support this channel, please use the options in the description. Your support would help me create even better content for you. I will leave you today with one of Liver Doctor's statements. Take care, stay safe, and stand up for science.